All right, welcome back to What's Cooking Show. Again, we're here with Penn Tompkins, and he's discussing with us the New Iberia Championship Cook-Off, Gumbo Cook-Off, and we're discussing stocks right now. Penn, where are we at?
Well, during the break, we had our stock cooked, and I put it in the refrigerator overnight, and now I've come back in the next day. So I can tell you that's one of the secrets is the stock is a sometimes multi-day or multi-hour process. One of the things that we're able to do with our cooked chicken is to take the fat off the top and discard it. So this is the saturated fat that is not good for your veins
or life. So as we're learning a little more about cooking, when they say things are skinless, the reason is this is the saturated fat, and if you cook it and you just take it all the way off, then you're adding a little bit more health. So a nod to my dietitian who has asked us to cook heart healthy. So we're going to do that. A lot of our good cooks, Jason being one, is and Chef Patrick Mole down in New Iberia, when he's doing instruction, will say that if there's a way we can be healthy, we are starting to cook a little more healthy in this area, and we still have a bold flavor here, and that's what's
great flavor. The fat is somewhat the flavoring, but at the same time, you got so much other things going on for it than just. So
we do have a sample spoon, and I mean I can look at our stock and know that what we have has a bold flavor without having the fat in it.
Smells good too.
Our chicken, we'll just pull right off the bone. We've got some breast, and we'll drop that in. We've got some dark meat, and we'll drop that in. We're not putting many of the bones, but the raw chicken product. And many times with what's left from here, this is where we'll make our chicken and dumplings. We won't even throw away our throwaway parts. We'll use that for something else.
We never throw away in a restaurant business.
Absolutely not. And I want to give a nod to people that are cooking seafood gumbo or melange gumbo, that they will also have a stock. And many times, Jason, help us when you're at your restaurant and you're cooking a seafood stock. The process is really the same.
It's really the same. You just use a little different items to make your stock. I mean, I go through the same process with all my stocks. But for shellfish stock, you know, you would use like the peelings of raw shrimp or something like that. And you could really use anything. Sometimes I used to use
ball crawfish.
Yeah, you could use the peelings and stuff like that. But a lot of times in seafood gumbo, I'll take they call it the liquor of the oyster, gallons of oysters. Things like that you can use. We used to make, I made I won a gold medal one time with chicken and sausage gumbo, and it was in the soup category, and basically we took the chicken backs I bought from Piggly Wiggly, 40-pound case, and I roasted them in the oven, not burn them. You know, you roast them really, you're not gonna medium high heat, and boil those with all these other ingredients, the vegetables in it, and it just gives another depth of flavor as if you're browning your chicken first. It's giving that flavor into the stock. So that gumbo was amazing, by the way.
So as we have some of our cooked product, we'll add more raw chicken later. But what we're doing here is we've got our stock. We've got a very nice thickness to our broth. And at this time, we'll start with our roux that we made. And I have the recipe for the roux on our website for the show, which is
kdcg.com.
There you go.
I want to mention that, so you'll be able to get this. But this is going to change our color. And to taste, when I say to taste, it depends on how brown and how thick you want your roux to be.
Everyone has different opinions of what's a good gumbo, consistency-wise and thickness, you know.
And I don't know if the camera will get the shot, but as we melt the roux into our stock, sometimes a lighter roux is what's preferred. And we were talking kind of before the show, it depends on what your judges have. You've got a lot of great cooks, 91 different teams down in New Iberia, 92 including me. They'll have 91 different ways of making their gumbo and of accepting the roux, because in your mind sometimes it's grandma's roux.
Yeah.
And
Like we were talking about earlier, really an event like this with so many people, it's just it all depends on your preference of your judges.
So we're starting to see a color change here in our pot. We're starting to get some texture, some thickness. And I want to say that, in the effort of the show, we used a cast iron pot, and we've got some really good dark color on the outside of our chicken thigh. Now, when we add this to our gumbo, the fact that we've got that good dark color that you get from a heavy, thick pot.
It's going to add more flavor to your gumbo.
So we'll add our chicken thigh there. Oh, go ahead. Thank you. So I want to emphasize that the flavor that we've got here with the browned meat, some people will say, oh, there's no need to brown the meat because they'll take water, they'll take roux, and they'll add the chicken. That's perfectly acceptable, okay?
Sure.
And as you're doing that, you want your vegetables to mix in. So we've got our onion, our bell pepper, and our celery that's chopped. We're going to bring these to a boil before we put all the rest of our ingredients, and it'll bring that full flavor that we're looking for into the pot. One of the things I've heard Chef Patrick Mold mention about Cajun cooking, he said many times people misinterpret Cajun for much red pepper. This is not true for our area.
No.
We have full, bold flavors by the way that we cook. I didn't mention that in here, I also have a few bay leaves that I put into the stock.
I saw some parsley leaves in there too.
That is correct. So we've got our dark flavored chicken. We'll add some more chicken breast. We'll add some legs, and we'll pull that meat, but we'll add it to our pot.
Okay, well, we're going to take another short break, Penn, and we'll come back and we'll finish up with the gumbo on What's Cooking.